court to be the next president in the Republic of the Gambia. Doumbouya is not a familiar name. It's not a name that most Gambians know. In fact, the party is not a party that a lot of Gambians are familiar with. We used to know that in the pre-colonial Gambia, we used to have a party that was called the Democratic Party, that was pre-independence. But then that has changed long ago. Now we have a new DP, and that new DP is headed by Youssoufa Doumbouya. You see, Youssoufa Doumbouya just boarded of his vehicle, and he is now going in there. You could see that there are a lot of young Gambians who are escorting him. They are taking him right into the premises of the IEC. You can see, but not all of them are going in there. Some of them will be seated here. It is also surprising that Youssoufa Doumbouya has a huge following, because this is something that wasn't expected, to be honest. We thought he's just some other guy again, some other independent candidate who was just going to come here, and then he was not going to come with a lot of party supporters here. But that's not the case. He is coming up with other supporters. You can see at the checkpoint over there, just behind me, you could see there are a lot of party supporters there. So they are coming to escort him. Mbokk yi ñuy seetaan ki mujj ki ñuy dalal tey mooy Youssoufa Doumbouya. Youssoufa Doumbouya moom moo jiite parti bi ñu Democratic Party. Democratic Party yàggul bu ñu ko sosee ci réew Gambia. Youssoufa Doumbouya nag moom itamit tey ji mooy tënka li nga xam ne moom mooy nomination process boo xam ne tàmbali na depuis samedi bële passé woon. Daanaka moo mat juróom-ñaari fan bu ñu ko tàmbali mu mel ni ëllëg mooy nekk dogal bi waaye tey ji Democratic Party seen candidate bi Youssoufa Doumbouya agsi na wàcc na te mu ngi dem pour dugg su ko defee gars yi mun a consider li nga xam ne nag moom moo di kayitam yi. Youssoufa is not a familiar name. Youssoufa's party is also not too familiar with the Gambians because we used to have a Democratic Party in the Gambia, but that was long ago. Not now. The party has been reformed, and you can see they have a different color. And now he is going to face up with the IC chairman, that is Ali Momanjai. So right now what we will do is, we will just allow you, the viewers, to follow up the proceedings, because he is also expected to tender in papers. Those papers will be reviewed by the IEC. Tonight they will review them, and until tomorrow. Some parties also, we understand, have to still come up with other papers, because we understand there are parties that have not met all the criteria. Others are left with nominations. Others are left with some papers like certificate of characters. Others are left with papers like the issue of their citizenship status in the Gambia. We have a host of other people or other candidates who are left with either this or that to meet up with some of the criteria that IEC have laid for these elections and other elections in the past. So right now li ñuy def mooy dañuy dem seeti parce que fu mu nekk ni jotaay bi gars yi koy tàmbali ñu dem déglu rek li nga xam ne moom moo nekk di xew foofu parce que bu àggee rek IEC nañ ko laajte seen nañ ko laajte kayitam yi parce que IEC seen bopp fu mu toll ni understand nañ ne amuñ time bu bari pour gars yi commencé def seen review process bi balaa ëllëg gars yi di def li nga xam ne nag moom mooy seen i declaration pour wane ku jàll ak ku jàll te in fact we understand ne tomorrow inshallah IEC will be holding a press conference here so as to elaborate more on some of the qualifications and why probably they may reject some of these candidates for these coming elections. moo koy li ñuy def mooy dinañ dem seede lii xew foofu su ko defee ñu dellusiwaat again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Omar Tunkara, for giving us the feedback of what is happening at the Independent Electoral Commission. We all know today is day 7, the final day of the nomination, where we have Papa Fall, NUP, and now we have DP. Let's just quickly go back to the IEC so that we can hear the interaction between the IEC official together with the leader of the Democratic Party.
So that we can go through it and see where qualified or not. Can we have the documents one after the other, please? Submit them one after the other. These documents.
kooku man ko juume ke Red Cross kooku man ko juume.
What we are seeing right now is at the Independent Electoral Commission, where documents have been handed over to the Independent Electoral Commission for scrutiny so that they will see whether he met all the criteria that IEC wrote that a candidate should meet. That's what we are seeing right now, which is very, very important. And I think he is the last party, of course, to be nominated today, and it's going to be the closing, of course, for today. Immediately after he had discussions with the IEC, he will be having a press conference that he will have with the Gambian press, as you already know. Then tomorrow morning, of course, IEC will be having a press conference so that they can update the people on those who have qualified and those who have not qualified. IEC, of course, have a very, very hectic work, especially tonight, very, very hectic night. Because all the documents that they gather at the Independent Electoral Commission since from nomination 1 up to nomination day 7, they have to make sure that they scrutinize all those documents and then come out with results, because that's what Gambian people are waiting for. It's going to be, of course, a D-Day for the Gambia, all right, especially for those candidates, because each and every candidate will be hoping or will be yearning and praying that he or she qualifies to run for the 2021 presidential elections happening in December here in the Gambia. Of course, if we can go back to the Independent Electoral Commission so that we can hear what is happening between the candidate and the Independent Electoral Commission chairman, that is Aliou Momar Njie. Ben tey rek comme ni nga ko waxee rek ben tey ñu ngi fii nii rek ci Star TV den andil parti bi nga xamante ne moom mujj pour dem ci nomination bi ni ki tey mooy Democratic Party ñu gën ko xamee ci DP. ñoom ñooy tëj li nga xamante ne moo nekk li nomination bi images yi nga xamante ne yooyu ngeen nekk di gis ni jamono ji ni si télé bi moo nekk lii di interaction waxtaan bi nga xamante ne mu ngi xew diggante parti bi ak ñi nga xamante ne ñoo nekk IEC officiels yi am na ay kayit yi nga xamante ne ñu leen koo laaj ndaxte IEC dañ tëral ay kayit yi nga xamante ne sarta yi nga xamante ne sarta yi rek nga war a am pour rek nga mun a taxaw li nga xamante ne moo nekk lii di presidential election si nii waaye lenn li nga xamante ne sax kawsu li nga xamante ne war nañ ko waxtaanee tamit mooy ne candidate yu bëri yi nga xamante ne jaar nañ fii nii ñëpp dañ leen jox ñi nga xamante ne seen kayit mutut dañ leen joxoon time frame pour gars yi ñëw submit te IEC ñu ne tey si guddi lañ war a def seen liggéey yëpp mun a am press conference tomorrow. léegi what about DP su fekkee ne DP kayita mutut moom date buñ koy jox.
non ñoom ñëpp ku nekk am nga chance ba tey 4 o'clock. It doesn't matter pour man in fact it's an advantage because su fekkee yow léet ngaa ñëw. am nga chance pour seetaan si télé bi xool lan la ñu manqué nga war a mun a xool naka nga màccee loolu ak yow li nga xamante ne loolu nga am pour soo demee waruloo war a am benn déficience maanaam waruloo am dara li nga xam ne li nga manqué su fekkoon ne nit ñi am nañ difficulty on day 1 ak day 2 waroon nga see mun a jàngee. den su boobaa ëllëg da ngaa gis soo ñëwee yow di nga war a mun a submit everything di nga xam lan mooy a requirement ak lan moo nekkul a requirement waaye dafa mel ni ok bi léegi gaa ngi si kawam di xool. wax ne mooy kii so but the good thing is nekkut tey si 12 o'clock because léegi nii 1 o'clock lañ nekka and in the case ne DP Papa Fall wala NUP am na lañ manqué am nañ chance ba 4 o'clock because already Papa Fall gis nañ ne li nga xamante ne moom mooy citizenship am bi dénoncé ko ndax start na process bi wala startut ko yàlla xam waaye tontoom bi méngoowut ak li nga xamante ne moom mooy luñ séentu waaye so far ñi nga xamante ne moom mooy NUP Mr Jammeh ñëw nañ def nañ li nga xamante ne moom mooy seen submission keneen ki nga xamante ne tamit citizenship am bi léegi mu ngi pending mooy ki nga xamante ne moom mooy Mr Tamsir M Jasseh moom it li nga xamante ne moom mooy American citizenship am bi ba léegi dénoncé ko ñi nga xamante ne ñoom ñooy PDOIS so far ñoom ñoo njëkk a matal li nga xamante ne moom mooy sarta yi nga xamante ne yu lañ leen tegal benn si lettre si nga xamante ne moom lañ asiwut astafla benn si document yi nga xam ne moom lañ asiwut mooy seen campagne itinéraire bi ñi nga xamante ne ñoom ñooy parti bu mel ni li nga xamante ne moom mooy docteur Ismaila Ceesay ñoom it asiwuñ li nga xam ne moom mooy lettre buy wane ne parti bi moom lañ tànna te ñoom it joxoon nañ leen chance ba tey mooy li nga xamante ne moom mooy lettre boobu di wane loolu ñu mel ni li nga xamante ne moom mooy United Democratic Party loolu mu ngi nekkoon li nga xam ne moom mooy D3 lettre bi nga xamante ne moom mooy letter of sponsorship asiwuñ ko seen campagne itinéraire bi tamit asiwuñ ko ñi nga xamante ne ñoom ñooy ñeneen mu mel ni ki nga xamante ne moom mooy suñ bàyyee aliya luñ defoon mooy Mamadou Ba it means loolu moo asi woon li nga xamante ne moom mooy 1 and 2 bi but later si bési nomination bi gisoon nañ li nga xamante ne moom mooy leeral bi nga xamante ne asi na ko mu ne moom du Mamadou moom Mamadou la it means moom instead of OA la ñoo use loolu noonu leeral nañ ko moom it li nga xamante ne moom mooy kayit yi nga xamante ne moom yu ko doon nominate gis nañ yi nga xamante ne moom mooy yu si xala manqué tuuti and many other candidates yi nga xamante ne ñëw nañ gis nañ kenn ki nga xamante ne withdraw na mu nekk li nga xamante ne wane na ne dafa withdraw ne mënatut a bokk ci li nga xamante ne moom mooy jongante bi waaye gisuñ mu wax li nga xamante ne moom mooy sarfay waaye so far so good yi bunte yi nga xamante ne war nañ see mun a jàngee la xam naa ne gannaaw nomination bi dinañ def a general recap Sara ñu jaajëfal la bu baax a baax.
All right, thank you very much. Bente Rek, we are the Independent Electoral Commission. Discussions is taking place between DP, party officials, and the Independent Electoral Commission officials. I think let's just get the feedback of what is happening there, if control room is listening. Okay, it seems that still now they are verifying the papers, the documents. As we already know, is the DP, that's the Democratic Party. We have a lot of parties, of course, in this country. A lot of parties have registered with the Independent Electoral Commission, and we have also a lot of independent candidates. It's going to be very, very interesting elections that we head into, combining the candidates, especially those that are independent and those that are from political parties. And IEC has a big task to do, especially the media. They also have a big task to do to, give coverages to all these political parties so that Gambians can make informed decisions so that they can make their choices as to who they're going to elect come 2021. So the media has a very, very big role to play. Yes, let's just go back to the IEC.
Okay, seems that is a discussion going.
Yusufa Dumbuya. Yusufa A. Dumbuya.
Now decide what do you want?
Just put Yusufa A. Dumbuya. Yes.
Here on the declaration form.
Yes.
Your voters card should be that card.
Okay.
Your own voters card.
Okay.
Not the serial number.
Okay.
You want to do?
Yes. No?
Where is the voters card?
Just put the number. We can.
Signor Olafan, saya hanya mau ngomong kenal tidak.
politiko nyato
that is the Yusufa A. Doumbouya. Yusufa A. Doumbouya, of course, is the leader and secretary of the Democratic Party. We call it the DP party. He's the one right now sitting alongside his party officials. He's the one facing Aliou Mamonjai right now, presenting his papers. That is the name. Maybe a lot of people would not have known Yusufa A. Doumbouya, but I think the media would do everything possible. Did do a research regarding who Yusufa A. Doumbouya is. We all know he headed the Democratic Party, and then the party address is at Brikama, that is in the West Coast region. The party symbol is a torchlight. That's the party symbol, and the motto is Awakening Gambia. The party color is light blue and black, horizontally light blue on top and black down. And the leader is Yusufa Doumbouya. Kausu.
jërëjëf Sara Camara wax nga lu am solo Yusufa Doumbouya comme niñ ko waxee rek léegi nii si jamono buñ nekk nii moom it moom moo toog jàkkaarloo ak ñi nga xamante ne ñoom ñooy waa Independent Electoral Commission pour rek xool li nga xamante ne moom mooy ay kayitam nekk na jamono bi nga xamante ne nag suñ xoolee ki nga xam ne moom mooy Yusufa Doumbouya comme niñ ko waxee gis nañ ne li nga xamante ne moom mooy DP di Democratic Party jamono bi li nga xamante ne moom mooy seen office bi di fi nga xamante ne moom mooy seen mbootaay bi fi nga xam ne moom mooy seen maakaan bi mu ngi nekk fële ca fi nga xam ne moom mooy West Coast Region specifically fi nga xamante ne moom mooy Brikama xam nañ ne ki nga xam ne moom mooy Yusufa A. Doumbouya mi moom moo ko jiite waaye gannaaw loolu amaguñ si wàllu li nga xamante ne moom mooy yeneen xibaar comme jaar-jaaram méngale ko ak yi nga xamante ne moom mooy ñeneen ñi nga xam ne balaa ñoo fës nit ñi xam nañ fi nga xam ne moom mooy seen jaar-jaar jiite na political party waaye dafa mel ni si gestu bi nga xamante ne ñu ngi ko def sax am na ay independent yi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo ko gën a siiw waaye nag comme niñ ko dee waxee tànn njiit emot si siiw xool nañ li nga xamante ne moom mooy couleur yi li nga xamante ne moom mooy patem bi ñaari couleur la jël li nga xamante ne moom mooy light blue ak li nga xamante ne moom mooy ñuul ñu lem ko bi féetee li nga xamante ne moom mooy kaw ñuul bi nekkee si suuf loolu mu nekk li nga xam ne suufa loolu lañ mun a amagum si xibaar yi nga xamante ne ñu ngi ko mun a gestu waaye fii balaa li nga xamante ne moom mooy campagne bi as it goes dinañ war a mën a gën a xam ki nga xamante ne moom mooy Yusufa am xibaar yu bari si moom xam naa dinañ jox kaddu yi bayloo bari pour mu xuus ci li nga xamante ne moom mooy kaalaamaay soose si ki nga xam ne moom moo fi nekk si jamono bi di ki nga xam ne moom mooy Yusufa A. Doumbouya.
Okay, before Bailo Barry comes in, we all know that we're doing research on the background, of course. And then he's a Washington Adventist University professor, that is Yusufa Doumbouya. There were reports in the media that he claims that he would suggest amnesty for Jammeh. We will come to that. But let's just quickly go to the IEC. Over to you, Bailo.
Abarka bake Sara Camara abarka bake Kausu Baji bari ngolo hanika bekal hakilo bran kal Star TV leji bekang anu bila mo lum wara wala jamata atanyen nomination wala fanala bi somanda Papa Fall independent wala falo tata membre tana mo kada NUPD Abdoulaye Ibrahima Jammeh saintending menning Aliou Mamar Ndiaye nyati le nyola atanyi IEC la korra batu batil Haden Highway wala mu DPD Democratic Party miya nyatonka wala mu Yusufa A. Doumbouya di coming alia moy saraning kawsi afu nyame nyingira moti miya lonko Gambia dingolom afanang ka laftakela president da nying Gambia banko kanjang ala patio fanang bata nying West Coast region damidu lonko Brikama anu ala patio fanana coloro light blue aning fima wala bije ngamera nyaata do mandindirong mina allonnale kaduna kibar talal fana background to mengera Omar Tunkara Mariama Dem ane mengera Binta Kolodi ibina fula mole ko munne fankara je annon fana jikira fana nyaning Aliou Momar Ndiaye fana bota nyin kacala anen kibar talal fana ba de kacha fana sodala kacha mi yalon ko abako mala bakala sara.
All right, Professor Doumbouya, Yes. Let's go back to the Independent Electoral Commission.
Correct, yes. Yes. Yeah, well, we do have that ready. So you have it? Yes, but yes. Correct. Correct.
Which one are you choosing?
On your left.
This one?
Yes, on your right, yes. Yes. Yes, I just gave you this. Okay. Yeah, go. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, go. Okay.
You accept the declaration. You should notarize it.
Okay.
Let's see that.
Yes, notarize asset declaration.
Your campaign program, put in something.
Campaign schedule, tour program.
Your party should write a sponsorship letter.
Sponsorship letter. You need that one to be notarized too?
No. It's just the asset declaration.
Okay.
And a sample of your photograph.
A sample photograph.
So your name now is Mr. Yusuf.
Correct.
You want to have this? Let me just go and kill you. Let me help out.
Okay. Correct.
I mean, just using your
officials and also Mr. Yusufa Dumbuya. Mr. Yusufa Dumbuya with the name Mr.
Heard from the Independent Electoral Commission the discussions that are currently ongoing with IEC officials and Professor Yusufa Dumbuya. He has been told to make sure that he notarizes his asset declarations. He also has to make sure that he bring in, that is the campaign schedule. He also has to make sure that the sponsorship, where he's getting money to sponsor his party, also need to be present at the Independent Electoral Commission in order for him to be able to qualify to run for presidency in this country, Council. We've had at least some of the discussions that happens between the IEC officials together with Professor Yusufa Dumbuya regarding some documents that he need to tender to the IEC before he can be confirmed to be, a genuine candidate to run for the presidential election in December.
Yes, indeed. As for the asset declaration, it is present, but it is not yeah.
notarized.
So, and then that means they cannot validate it because someone somewhere needs to, a JP actually, not only someone somewhere, but a JP actually need to notarize it to show that yes, it is true. Before, like Sarah will just come and said, I am the proprietor of Star FM, I want to run for presidency. And then by the time it is not confirmed that it is Sarah, then people would actually begin to question. But also so that Sarah would also not have 13 compounds and also come and tender to say I have 3 compounds, whilst we know he has 13. So those are important issues. As per the sponsorship letter, I think this is appearing to be a deficiency for most of the candidates for reason best known to them. I don't know why should this be a problem. Because if X, Y, and Z are the ones sponsoring you, you should actually come up with that to say, okay, these are the people sponsoring me, or this is the person, or this is the... But generally, this would also lead us to the reason why we believe campaign financing needs to be popularized and also made publicly, not only to the ombudsman, but so that we can know. Because these are important issues. There are political parties or individuals running for positions in the name of independence, raising funds, and they're only using a smaller percentage for their campaign, while the others, they will use it to enrich themselves.
Yeah,
but
because, and at the end of the day, I think if Gambians don't know who is sponsoring you, the sponsors, because somebody who sponsors you would want something in return.
That is the other thing that I wanted to, because also the other advantage is once we know that tomorrow in the future, if you begin to give, for example, if Star FM sponsors Sarah, and then Sarah is in the position and we begin to see Sarah give more contract to Star FM, then people can actually point fingers to say, hey, can't we match, can we review this? These people sponsored Sarah and now and then this is what we've seen. They tend to even modernize it and make it acceptable in a way that they call them lobbyists.
Yes, lobbyists.
Yes.
Yeah, lobbying.
Yeah, but you see, those individuals who appear to be lobbyists, what they do is they look at potential candidates who they think this can be like a potential winning candidates. They put their money in them. At the end of the day, they keep giving them contracts. And we can even see this down to the smaller offices in the local government sectors. We can see this. There are certain contracts, people tend to wonder how comes the same ring of companies are receiving contracts even at a time that they are not delivering quality, but they still keep giving them the same contracts. So it means these are important issues, and I believe if they cannot meet on some of these important, for me, campaign itinerary, it helps the IEC to draft a calendar.
A calendar, yeah, exactly.
But other than that, these two important issues are like letter of sponsorship, that is the sponsorship letter, and the asset declaration, because if not, I mean, people cannot really take those people to be very serious.
Okay, Bailo, Mandinka.
Yes, thank you very much. Abarka ba kauso ala barka ba ke bari ngolu mbara minje ka wala mo atanying DP la nyarankote menketa Yusufa wala Professor Dumbia atila la kaitol sama atanying IC to Momar Aliou Momar Nja nyati lon han kapi ibijele njikira ko kaitol dolo bijam nyana ko wala manketa coming manko nyin keta nyaming dol fanan fanala atanying tile den ton min tambita non coming kauso ning sara bra foka nyaming abakumala bakele momo yan ko lafta kala abanko nyarankote nyim banko kanjang abakumala le pro e ka fume ko asset declaration krafo minu fanan ke sponsor minu ke sembentu yandi ama pour wol fanan pour isa wol be sambate ni IC la nyaati lingola bara be ba koyla fer inshallah bila mu nomination lu la bawt nak bare njiketa ko sama somonda IC fangola ko rabaro press conference batar laje damintu yalon ko aba koyla fer Aliou Momar Njie bina la fulo mole ko nomination nyim fela banta andong nyim pati kare wala nyim mo kare wala la fanan kata multi min yalan ko dal ila trials ya be amitle bodongo be ba fen o be ba kala fen dem yalan ko dal inshallah samale o be ba koyla Sarah, it is very important the above mentions as far as you're looking for presidency in this country, as you rightly said, you and Kausu in your earlier deliberations.
Okay, let's just quickly go back to the IEC.
Yeah. The visiting was listed by 4 o'clock. Thank you. And good luck and God bless. Thank you.
We will.
As Bailo was just talking, they've just finished they just finished submitting the documents, and then they are leaving. From here, Professor Yusufa Dumbuya will be having an engagement with the media. There will be questions and answers as to, what he has for the Gambian people if he is elected president, and then he has to justify and then convince Gambians that he is the right candidate, in the midst of, a good number of candidates who have submitted their papers at the Independent Electoral Commission. We know that, okay, let's just quickly go back to the IEC.
Mom here. I want to thank her very much. I want to thank my secretary manager, Marshall is here, for a good job. I want to thank Adaya Masisi, my political advisor. I want to thank my secretary Sarah, who is all the way back. I want to thank these people right here. These are Gambian. This is why I'm here. Serious problem that I cannot just in 3 minutes define the problems that we have in Gambia. But I would redirect your question, redirect your question and answer one thing that is very, very important. That is your economic issue, and that is health care. That is an economic issue. If we deal with it properly, we will take care of employment issues in Gambia. A population less than 1,600, we have to ask ourselves, what are we doing for 53 years? I ask you journalists, does it take 53 years to develop a nation less than 1.7 million? And all of you will agree with me, that is no. So also to address, in order to address, we talk about economic development on us. We talk about we cannot develop the economy if we do not, what I call, deal with the root cause of the economic issue we have. That's also corruption, which is by and large that's too broad. And we're also going to take care of the corruption issue, zero tolerance of corruption, take care of the ineffectiveness that's in the system. Your country cannot be developed with this ineffectiveness. The structure, everything is ineffective by and large. So we have to deal with the system change to address your economic situation in Gambia.
Mr. Dumbuya, do you understand that there are documents that you did not submit and you are given time before 4 o'clock to submit it? How optimistic are you that you will make the required time?
Oh, the documents there already. Now, even they give me 1 hour, I'll submit it. All right? I want professionality. You can't lead this nation when you start with ineffectiveness. So I don't want to bring in a sloppy document. And I know we are all in this struggle together. The young, the orphan, the poor, the women, all of us are in this struggle together. We want a better country for our people. We want a better nation. We want a nation where the poor can survive. Many of you come here, you don't have a breakfast. Many of you have orphaned the children who doesn't have lunch, dinner. So, so if you look at the system, it's not there for me to turn this question. Your electric system is out. So I couldn't get to the point where I can just. But hopefully your electric system is on, is back on. It's a matter of time to print those documents and get it back here. Yes.
Sort of the system change here. How do you intend to change the system, let's say, if you are elected as president?
Well, that's also a broad question that I can answer that with a limited time of 5 minutes. But I'll just make it general. Take care of the people and take the
very much.
You have been going out So how do you intend to deal with your dual citizenship?
Well, I have always, no, half of it is a personal question, but half of it is a duty to the Gambian people to know who I am. I've been in this country for a while, but like many of them, the leaders who are contesting, they're going back and forward. But let me tell you one of the reasons why I won out, all right? I just went and I have a conversation with, I'm not going to mention their name, the people who matter, and that is the people in Saudi Arabia. Some people, we didn't meet in Saudi Arabia, we meet some places in Africa, and we have a conversation, a solid conversation, that in 2 years, I'm working for you, that everywhere in Gambia will light up, even in Achar, in Baribu. For me or not, it's time to bring reality in Gambian politics. In 2 years, Dumbia will have 24-hour electricity system. I've already have this agreement with the people. Another surprising thing I will have, that I already have agreement with these people, is housing. Oh boy, the people. What is wrong with our system? That the poor have no place in this system. You have people now, call them the predatory loaning people system. You have, let's take an example here, where you have to get in an apartment, you have to pay 6 months ahead or 12 months ahead. Many of our people cannot afford this. When are we going to tackle this? This is an economic issue that I intend to take. So I went back out there, I have an agreement with them. I'm going to build 4,000 affordable housing each year for Gambians. You vote for me or not, I'm here to develop the nation, and I'm not joking about it.
Over here, can you please tell us, your party slogan, we're seeing that your party slogan is saying, Dumbuya in power, women in power.
Yes.
Can you please tell us what concrete plans do you have to uplift the
masses of
current
the
situation
Gambian
of
people
women?
to greater economic prosperity? That's your question. Well, look behind me. I just don't preach. I just don't dance. I just do the solution, all right? This is why, with Gambian money, with their support or not, I went out foreign policy to secure affordable housing for the Gambian. I went out to secure 2-year Dumbuya will have Gambia light up 24-hour electricity. Wait, all right? Let me finish. Well, all right. Well, I'll come back to that. But let me, the women issue is personal to me. Poverty. My mom worked in the rice field, waiting for my dad. 20 good years. My mother was young, grew old. My father studying out there. I am the victim of that. My mother died poor. Here I am today. So this is personal issue to me. Look at these women, single women. Husband died. The past administration have abused so many things. So I'm here for women. This is why in my administration, right now in my political party, 60% of them, women, man this high important position, and I intend to carry that. Women in power, Dumbia in power, 50-50, equality in our government.
Thank you. Your citizenship, sir. Your citizenship.
Press conference.
Okay, thank you very much. We just heard from Yusuf Dumbuya, who is the leader of the Democratic Party, DP. He spoke about so many important things. He made mention of building 4,000 affordable homes every year for Gambians, whether he is voted in or not. That's what we heard just right now. He also talked about the electricity system that in 2 years If voted, of course, we will have normal electricity in 2 years. But we will be going to Omar Tunkara so that he can bring us what is happening there at the Independent Electoral Commission. Hello, Omar. Hello, Omar. Hello, Omar.
It seems.
Hello? Hello, Omar, are you getting us?
Okay.
Okay, Omar Tunkara, are you getting us right now? Hello, Omar, are you getting us?
Yeah, it seems Omar is actually warming up.
Omar?
We can actually see the environment.
Yes, I'm getting you.
Okay, Omar, what can you tell us about Youssoufa Doumbouya?
Well, I think Mustafa Doumbouya has just tendered his documents, not all of them. He has not met all the criteria asked of him by the Independent Electoral Commission. And I think that just goes on to tell you how unserious some of our politicians are. You could hear immediately after the nomination process, he was speaking to the press and they asked him about his dual citizenship status. Yes. He was not there. He did not even provide the answers to what he was asked of. He went straight away talking about other issues. Issues of housing. He said he's going to build around 4,000 houses each year for the Gambians if he becomes or if he is elected to serve as the leader of the Gambia. So, Sarah, I think we have seen a lot of candidates. Now Gambians can make a judgment. And I think that judgment depends almost entirely on the Independent Electoral Commission to either qualify or disqualify most of them. But I believe now Gambians can know the type of politicians that we have in this country. He was supposed to bring in a lot of other papers. You could see this party sponsorship issue has been a big problem. Most of these parties don't want to produce that paper. They don't want Gambians to know where they are sourcing money from. And Gambians have to know where these monies are coming from. We need to know exactly who, for example, which companies are giving them money, because we think most of them have been bribed by outside sources. For in case if they have been, if they go on to lead or if they go on to win these elections, they might give them contacts, and that is what we think is not right. And we've been fighting for corruption. Most of these people will stand over there. They will, accuse this government of being a corrupt government. But I think corruption is even beginning, even before most of these people have been appointed or have been chosen to lead our country. So I think those are some of the things. We've seen examples of them, and we've seen what happened between the IEC and also Mr. Youssoufa Doumbouya. Even though he's not popular among the masses in the Gambia, but he came with a huge crowd. He has a huge following. He came from the West Coast region area, and he has tendered some of the documents that he had, and he said within an hour he is going to bring in some of the other documents remaining.
Yes, Omar, a quick recap of that in the local languages.
Mr. Youssoufa Doumbouya dese na yu bari ci ginnaaw yu mel ni affaire yi doomi réew yaayam parce que dañ jàpp ne doomi réew Gambia la doomi réew beneen dëkk la boobu leeralu ko lu jëm tamit ci wàllu party sponsorship leeralu ko li jëm tamit ci wàllu lii di access declaration bi parce que dañ ko authorize maanaam mu mel ni dafa am
Okay, it seems we lost signal audio from Omar Tunkara right now, but we will be getting back to Omar Tunkara very soon. Kausu, we've heard what Omar has just said. I don't think the questions, some of the questions that were asked, to Professor Doumbouya, Doumbouya dodged away from those questions. That tells you sometimes, how unserious some politicians are and how they want to take Gambians for a ride, honestly.
Yes, and I guess there is this misconception. If you're running for a public office, you don't have much privacy. your citizenship is not private. That was his answer. He said you're going personal.
He said you're going personal.
Yeah, no. We don't want to know his personal issues, but he actually asked for a public office, and we need to know about his citizenship. If you are a dual citizen, you know clearly that one of the criterions set is you must denounce one of the citizenship. So if you don't denounce it and make it public, if you come to the public space, we will ask for it. And that doesn't necessarily mean we want to know what are you doing in America or what were you doing in America. That's not what we're asking. But have you? It was supposed to be a yes, a no, or I am on it, like Tamsir said,
yes,
or else like Papa Fall said, I will if you elect me into office, and we cannot elect you if you're not qualified. So these are issues that I guess people need to really put into consideration. Like alluded earlier, the issue of campaign itinerary, to a degree, can be compromised. Yeah. But the issue of asset declaration, the issue of sponsorship letter, if you cannot tell us actually the people giving you fund it, we don't even know whether it might be the Al-Qaeda's.
It might be the Al-Qaeda's,
yes.
it might be drug cartels, it might be drug money. The Taliban. You know, it might be the Taliban, it might be the Boko Harams.
So we need to know. Because
exactly.
We know some people, some politicians will want to do everything it takes, tooth and nail, to ensure that they are in office. But we need to know clearly so that tomorrow the people can put their checks and balance. First, who are sponsoring you? Does it actually, are there people that can be trusted? What is their vested interest in sponsoring you?
Exactly.
What could come out of them sponsoring you? These are issues that we need to know. So, but if you actually don't want to relay these issues, how can we even hold you accountable when you are actually administering our funds? When you cannot tell us that X, Y, Z are the people sponsoring me. If you get to the highest office, you occupy that place, you collect all taxpayers' money, and then it is under your custodian. When I said it's under your custodian, you are not the direct holder, but you are the person with the highest influence.
Exactly.
So how can we actually hold you accountable? And these are the same people that will accuse sitting governments for corruption. Yeah. I mean, corruption starts from a long chain. If you are not accountable at your party level, if you are not accountable as an independent candidate with your team, how can you be accountable as a government?
I think accountability has to start, you know, at party level.
Absolutely right.
If you accusing government of not accountable, and your own party, you are not accountable there, then at the end of the day, how different are you with the government of the day?
No, in fact, the government is better because the government will go to the park and peck based on the various ministries. The government at one point in time will go to the National Assembly to make a request, and at the other time they will go to the National Assembly to submit.
Yeah, I think Omar Tunkara is want to join us, control room, if we can get Omar Tunkara online. Hello, Omar. Okay, still now, there is no
we will connect with
sound.
Omar.
They will connect with Omar. They're doing everything possible to connect with Omar so that we can have the closing of the day 7 of the final nomination. Well, a little information. I think Professor Doumbouya did had an interview, you know, on Wake Up Gambia with Panderi Toure, in which he said that the DP leader suggested amnesty for Jammeh. He said...
It seems we can connect with Omar.
Hello, Omar?
Okay.
Hello,
Control
Omar?
room.
Okay, still now, Omar hasn't come. In which the DP leader said that, you know,
yes,
he's not in line with Jammeh, but he do not accept what he and his government did, and he's the first person. Yes, hello. Okay, we have Omar and Mariam
yes,
online. Hello, Omar. Yes, Omar.
Yes,
can you give us, please, a closing of the final day of nominations?
Thank you very much, Sarah. I think it has been peaceful so far. It has been a very smooth process, we can say. Since the beginning, we've seen around 23 candidates that came here for nominations. We have around 2 that withdrew. That is Marty Gomez, he withdrew. And we also have the APP leader who came. He almost got nominated, but he said he had intentions of forming an alliance with other parties. And later we saw him came with the DOI candidate, that is Honorable Halifa Sallah. We also saw Gambia for All Party. They were supposed to be here on the day that UDP got nominated, but later they decided not to. Come up or continue with their nomination process. They had to go and join the United Democratic Party, which they form an alliance with. So we can say it has been very smooth. All the candidates came. They had all the candidates came. They had their nomination papers checked by the IEC staffs, as we have seen over the days. We also understand today that there will be a press conference, a press briefing with the IEC. They are going to give us more information regarding the nomination process so far, and that is going to be at 5 p.m. later in the day. But then, Mariama, have you seen anything here that's been surprising to? Okay, we understand the press briefing, according to what Paul is telling me, is tomorrow, not today. It is going to be tomorrow in the evening at 5 p.m. Mariama, have you seen anything that is surprising or that is odd, let's say, since the beginning of this nomination process?
Yeah, thank you so much, Omar. It has been, interesting week here at the IEC. Yes, to be honest, I have seen things that surprised me, especially regarding the independent aspirants, I will call them. I expected them to bring all the documents, the required documents to present to the IEC to determine whether they will be qualified or not. But we have seen a lot of them, left, some papers out, or, when they come, when you ask them questions, how do they intend to run the Gambia? How do they intend to strengthen all that? They will say, okay, I will strengthen the health sector, I will strengthen the security, I will do this, I will do that. But what plans do they have? How do they intend to do that? They haven't, said anything regarding that.
They haven't given more details.
Exactly, regarding the mechanism they will use. We all know we have, problems. We have problems in the country, but how do they intend to do that? I think, the IEC should also be very strict when it comes to,
being strict, I think we should, yeah, exactly. Being strict, I think the IEC should do, because most of these candidates that came here, for example, like Papa Fall came, he made it very clear that he wanted to win first before he would renounce
his dual citizenship
of America.
Exactly.
And again, the same thing could happen to this candidate, is the DP candidate, Yusufa Boja. Yusufa Boja, we understand, has a double citizenship status, and you could see when they asked him about it, he did not provide answers. Instead, he chose to just beat by the bush, which I think was not expected of him.
Exactly, and Tamsir Jase too as well. It's like they are not taking this seriously. To me, that's how I see it. They are not taking this seriously. If you want Gambians to vote for you, I think, documents like this, they all know. And for the last person, Yusufa, he is the last person to submit his documents. The nomination started on Saturday. He has been following the proceedings.
Exactly.
I mean, he should have learned from that.
Exactly.
To be honest, the only people I think, who are serious about this this election is Lawyer Dabo, Honorable Halifa Sallah Barrow, and maybe Mama Kande, because for some of them, the only thing they left out was the campaign, program or the party sponsorship. For that too, it was not listed. It was not, listed on the criteria as, exactly. So I think, I think those are the people who are serious about it.
We also have to recognize the commitment of Alaji Mamadi Kurang, and also Esa Fall. They've also provided most of what was asked of them, and also Tabora Mane. Tabora Mane also provided a lot of the things that he was asked of. But then I think that the Gambians now, from now on, will make a decision. The Gambians have been watching, they have been watching the nomination process, and I think now they can make a judgment. They can know exactly whether these candidates have taken them seriously or not, whether they are taking them for granted or not. Because if somebody is telling you that I have to win first before I renounce my citizenship status of another country, I think that goes on to tell you how serious or unserious they are as candidates. So we have Binta Koli. Binta Koli.
Okay, before Binta comes in, I think we should also commend the security and the Red Cross, because they have been doing a tremendous
Thank you for
job.
reminding me.
Exactly. So we should commend them. They have
they've done a remarkable job, to be honest.
And we also have to commend the media also. The media have done a very wonderful job also.
We've never been commended, Sarah. I think we just have to let go of that one. Over the years, we've not been commended. Nobody says about the media. Nobody says thank you to the media for what they have done. And we've gotten used to that. Now, we are not going to talk about, but we have to say thank you to the security officers.
Maybe the IEC will do that tomorrow in their press briefing.
Exactly. They will have to, we expect they will do that. We expect they will do that. They will encourage them because we are heading into the most critical period of the elections, that is the campaign and the elections itself and post-elections. So we have to encourage the security sector. We have to encourage our security men, both women and men, for what we've seen from them so far during this nomination process. We have to say thank you to them. But then we also have to say, to be honest, we have to be honest to the IEC for some of the measures that they have taken this time around. It has been different from what we used to see over the years, and we have to say, to be honest, IEC have done a great job, Mariam.
Exactly. I think this is a collective responsibility. We have all played our part, both the media, the security, the Red Cross, the IEC.
But Sarah says they have to commend the media. I said no.
It's a collective responsibility. So we have all done our part. So it's left to the Gambian people to determine, or give us the credit we deserve.
Mariam, it has been a pleasure working with you on the ground here.
The same here. You're my boss, so it has been a great pleasure, to be honest. I have learned a lot from you. This is my first time, and it has been a great experience for me.
Thank you.
So we'll just let Binta Kolichu also to dive into the local language.
Binta nigat kacha de radio Damalto. Baraka munta go biwo kay me kacha television auto. Binta bi yemuna jijambi Binta.
am Omar mbeten tula bake bari lafta nga diamo la kula mi yalon ko sainting atel nata jang ayala nomination kay tol dundi mi ma atenyin Yusfa e Dumbiati Yusfa ala ko bari ni ajibe fanan am politiko mu fenete mi yanko ni lafta idai keji nyanta kake mu so belti sorry to say nata kom kuma kawni ma diamo le bari yala sa ke nyaaw nyarandi fonsa to nyaafunyo exactly fonsa to nyaafunyo Yusfa ni ala ko jibe akamunta sobe yamantaraje bake katu Yusfa afindita atenyin IEC nyati no la bi kayti jamal fanam bije anyanta ka mini futandi ame futandi abako no ala asset declaration ikanyanta ka notarize le o kola fanan aya samba IEC amandan wala hanala nyin campaign program aman kayto nyin fil a blank lingorenato o benata ke fenti mi yalo ne ko anisilo manta ando IEC fenyin ka fanam bulu mi yanko wala letter oti ka yitande a fon ba party mi represent ka mi mata nyin DPT wala fon nyanta kila nafulota ka dundala kuoto wonata ke kaytiti mi yalo ne ko ate Yusfa e Dumbia amanna fintinde IEC hani kabi amanna dan wala ala party manifesto Omar wo mu fenete min kumata bake momorandi yanko e kabula politiko kono wala momorandi yanko e fenlon politiko to yalo ni ko party ta operate nola dunia be kono aha natre imari mam manifesto soto ate Yusfa wo manifesto ama fintinde ate nyin commission o nyatulon andu ya nyinin kale hani mi yalo ni ko aba dending ala symbolo la ala party fon nyanta ka mi use nga kala mutako ay fulal sambaji andu iba min nyinin kaka bulu walen kilindi woto kayti jamal fana bije min yalo ni ko e mankita Yusfa la karula Yusfa aninki batala le kacha soto dame yanko ayebori nyinin kar jamalla nyinin kar kuma yari abakono ala nyin dual citizenship bayra nyanta ka yitandi Gambia dingol lal ita ba banko nyini kan e lafta mulle lanna ya soto la karula pour yela carte ke sota ya dila wota ba kuma yala natete mari ka finti wol kay ka tonya fo yatandi le te fon imu jumalti Yusfa nga nyinin kala manke kilenti amanke fulati amanke sabati bar watu wati ya nyinin ka ala nyin dual citizenship la aka ke multi min bukal nyinin karo nyi jabe
woto mbaɗigol ale o moyle wolon Binta Quality atele ɓe no mole konoto je atele ɓe no lammo kan Youssoufa Bodian kaccala mais yalon ka ɓole ke kan no sante alɓe men je kan koma wolon ko the security officers ɓe combat kanne pour eɓe kaccandimo sola don comme ye dokol men kijang ñin desol kono wo kola inanta kamine ke jam fanan kola so sante e ɓole ke e kana wole ke ɓe briefing short briefing e ɓole kala men kada jam bi anun they will look forward to what is going to happen again so as we speak right now, but then Sarah, it has been a smooth process to be honest. So far what we've seen here, it has been so peaceful. The security has done a great job to be honest. And at the moment they are converging to have a short briefing. And then tomorrow also the IEC will have a briefing with the press to tell us, to let the Gambian people know those that are qualified and those that are not qualified, because that is why the IEC, we are speaking to Youssoufa Bodian, they were telling him, letting him know that he has almost maximum 2 hours to submit the rest of the papers that he could not bring along here today. So, Sarah, let's hope for the best going towards December 4th. Let's hope that what we've seen here on the ground, that the ground has been very peaceful, that we hope that the political party leaders and also our political parties will maintain the same trend going towards these elections. To be honest, what we've seen here, we will say the IEC have taken measures to show the Gambian people that they are not joking around with these elections come this year.
Omar, we would just like to say a big congrats, a big thank you to you and the team, the technical team, and all the reporters that have been there since from day 1 up to day 7. You guys have done a very wonderful job. Gambians really appreciate you people. They celebrate you people. The coverage have been very, very fair, very, very good. And then we have nothing but to tell you thank you very much for the reports that you have been giving us, and the feedbacks are very positive.
Thank you very much, Sarah. But I have to thank also our crew on the ground. That is Lamin Menga, Aliu Tunkara. They've been doing a phenomenal job. We also have to thank our able driver, that is Salum Job. We also have to thank Chat Fatuma Tabayo. She has been very energetic, not only today, but we've been together. Fatuma Tabayo, we've been together almost everywhere in this country. We also have to thank our CEO. He has been around. He has been going and coming. Sometimes he has been checking on us what we are doing and what the shortcomings, some of the shortcomings that we are encountering. We also have to thank Haruna. He also has done a very great job throughout this nomination process. So these are some of the people that we have to say thank you. And also those in the studios there. We also have to thank Paul. He is our coordinator on the ground, and he has been, to be honest, ever-present guy. Paul Steven. He will wake up early in the morning. He lives in Lamin, but he will come here before all of us come. So Paul, we have to say a very big thank you to him. He has shown a lot of commitment towards this job that we are doing. So we say thank you to you guys there too in the studio.
Okay, thank you very much, Omar Tunkaram.
And thank you to Kausubaji for providing food, water, and so on.
Thank you very much. Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Omar Tunkara speaking to us live here from the Independent Electoral Commission headquarters. That's finished the day 7 nomination. Nomination ends today. And then tomorrow, of course, will be the D-Day. Some will be on the board, some will not be on the board, of course, leading us to the December elections, and then we will know who is going to steer the affairs of the country come December 4th. Well, Kausu, it was a very, very fruitful coverage, of the nomination. It was hectic, although, from media houses, and then, this is the first nomination that all media have. We have, this is the first time that we have all private media houses, TV stations, apart from the online channel, who have been doing coverages of the nomination, and it has been very, very wonderful. The media has lived up to expectation. We've seen a lot of people in the media, let's say Sang Wisdom Mendy, has really thanked the media, Star TV, GRTS, Paradise, the online media houses, for the wonderful and marvelous coverage that they do. Gambians right now, they cannot say, okay, we don't know nothing that has happened, in these nominations, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely, Sarah. And this is what is expected of the media. I kept saying this. I said, if you take up the job of a presenter, in fact, generally, if you take up the job of mass communication, let me just put it in that way.
A broadcaster.
Of a broadcaster. Yeah. In any sector, ranging from either you are on camera, or you are actually on the writing, or you are on the publication, or you are among the presenters. In any form that you have taken a course in the right direction. Yep. In a democratization process, the media is the fourth estate. And this is actually one of the things that I kept saying. I said, Gambia have been democratic since we attained independence, but we have actually gotten a strength when it comes to freedom of expression, freedom of thought, and freedom of the media. And for the media to be in a position to actually disseminate the information, we must get the respect for the freedom of expression. If you interview X, and X says something, you must be in a position to interview Y, so Y can also actually give in the message. And there had been medias, but honestly, we know the freedom of expression was at one point in time controlled. And then if you control freedom of expression, you tend to control freedom of thought, because people have the right to their opinion, but in as much as they put it in accordance with the law. And then we also want to use this opportunity, Sarah, to actually reiterate the importance for elections to be conducted in peace. Peaceful elections is important. Nothing can happen without peace. Whosoever is your candidate, by the time the person wins, you want the person to continue work, not to go and repair and try to bring people together, not to go and actually begin to set up commissions to bring peace. So let's endeavor to conduct the elections in peace, end it in peace, and whosoever wins takes his or her mandate in a peaceful environment.
It's Gambia who wins.
Yes, absolutely. xam naa ne dinañ dugg direct ci li nga xamante ne moom mooy kaalamay wolof, parce que ñu ngi ñoo wan ne waxtu bi mu ngi ñoo xala xoj léegi tey waxtu julli mu jot te mu nekk juma wanti li nga xamante ne moom mooy li xew fële ca li nga xam ne moom mooy Independent Electoral Commission ñun ñoo ko gisandoor programme si ñi nga xamante ne ñoom ñooy nomination suñu ko waxtu meewoon dinañ doon jóge ma faram fàcce waaye notwithstanding tey moo nekkoon D7 gis nañ li nga xamante ne moom mooy out of 26 candidates yi gis nañ li nga xam ne moom mooy ñetta ñi nga xamante ne ñoom ñëwuñ lu mel ni ki nga xamante ne moom mooy on Thursday Mr Gomez independent ñëwut mu ñëw na mu withdraw ki nga xamante ne moom mooy APP gis nañ li nga xamante ne moom mooy ñoom it luñ def ba GFA ñoom it gis nañ li nga xamante ne moom mooy luñ def so far so good gannaaw ñooñu noonu yeneen candidates yëpp ñëw nañ kon loolu noonu nekk na mbir bi nga xamante ne mu ngi rafetlu la xam naa ne ëllëg wala li nga xam ne moom mooy dinañ teew su fekkee ne waxtu dinañu ko may pour xool li nga xamante ne moom mooy di outcome dégg nañ IEC ne dinañ génnee communiqué jaajëfal askan bi waaye mënu maa fàtte ki nga xamante ne moom mooy suñ caméra bi Rohi Mbay ak ki nga xamante ne moom mooy caat jigéen bi nga xamante ne jigéen bu mot góor la su taxawee du toog fële ca fi nga xam ne moom mooy election house waaye Rohi Mbay tamit mu nekk fii si biir studio bi su taxawee du toog ci li nga xamante ne moom mooy si biir studio bi ñoom ñoo tax bañ ñu ngeen gis ak ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo tax ñu ñoo dégga kon suñ soo leen ñu giseen bi mu rafet ci ñoom la waaye du ma mun a daaneel suma kàddu te gërëmuma ki nga xam ne moom mooy Haji Baningo Sissoho parce que bëri na ay time yi nga xamante ne suñ jaaxlee man lañ gërëm waaye behind the scene is Haji Baningo ak ki nga xam ne moom mooy Aruna Sissoho suñ jaaxlee rek si ñoom lañ dee daw I remember li nga xamante ne moom mooy day one with all the challenges we rush to them put pressure CEO ñu def pressure bu bëri ñu gis li nga xamante ne moom mooy achievement and then the trend continues ki nga xamante ne moom mooy Aïssa tamit amee li nga xam ne moom mooy wàllu koppar bi moom it foog ñu gërëm ko kon nag fii laa daanelee suma kaddu jaajëfal suñ manager bu baax bi onku Malick nga xamante ne tey jii ñun ndaw ñi suñ demee ba bugg a media moom moo tax waaye Sara Camara nga xamante ne iñaanut xolam dafa yaatu ba nga xamante ne saa yu buggee rek li nga xamante ne moom mooy ndaw ñi ñu wax dañoo ñeme wax parce que foog nga dina la ne noonu nii lañ ko dee defee du la xas du la saaga kon Sara Camara yow it yan na nga yàgga fii te wér yàlla may la li gën ci yow jërëjëf jaajëfal ñëpp ñi nga xamante ne ñoom ñooy seen naataango yi di jaajëfal di Oda Media House for the job well done jërëjëf
Mamadou Baylo Bari
baɗigol eko ibugan tentu bari insam fangol tentu kaɗu tolmo kibar talalet min yalon koɗa comme Omar Tunkara ɓura fof ka ñamen noon baɗigol mbila keta loldaba ñawda ta ñing nomination ola fannala a felantinga banta freng min keta DPT mi a ñaɗangol kata Youssoufa Doumbiyati wala ala kaytol samba ta ñing ICB comme na kibar talal yafo ñam Omar Tunkara Mariama Dem anin Binta Koli yafo ñamin bila banda ko sama ñi ala kiritala sama fanan IC ba press briefing sodalale a wato ñi nak inshallah jikara ko aba communiquer la pour mol sa long sama IC binala fanan ka fu mole ko fanko ñim bantale andu sayin mina lonna la fanan ay jumale fanan qualified kalo atanyim presidential candidate yala badingol akira nun victim yala ko dala dia batale honestly studio to jang wa mobe tentula be jara mba Basiru Sala tentula mbay mbub kada fo lipsi Rohim Bay anin na crew min fana yala ko leba tanyin IEC kabirin lum fulo la woni betema mba fula le ko juma mubarak ala barka baka.
All right, Kausi, you want to come back?
Yes, thank you very much, Sarah. I think I will be pleased to announce that tomorrow in the evening from 9 to 11 we will be here to also get you a live coverage of the outcome of the public scrutiny and generally the nomination process, how it ends. Because we've been conducting this, and then once the press engagement tomorrow with the IEC will be by in the evening, hopefully by 5 as we're getting, or else they're going to send a press communique. But in either of situations, we are so ascertain that by 8 o'clock everything will be available. And 9 o'clock we will be here to actually discuss that. I know it will be Leral Plus because yes, but it's absolutely going to be very, very interesting. And Sarah Kamara will be joining the Leral team tomorrow on the Leral Plus. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Okay, thank you very much. We just want to say a big thank you to all our wonderful viewers and those who have been following us.
At the radio
also
as well.
On the Facebook. The program tomorrow, Leral Plus, will as well be linked, to the radio, so that those, who are not, who don't have access to the TV, would listen to what is happening here on the TV, and they will know what IEC has already decided. But as Kausu said, we cannot we cannot name everyone. Okay, but we start from the top, from Haji Baniko Sisoho, up to the mate, at Star FM, Star TV. They've all done a very, very wonderful job. The technical team, headed by Mr. Ba, also have done a very, very wonderful job. Although day one was very, very tough, when we were pulling it on the fist, here, exactly. But Alhamdulillah, now all the presenters here on the table did extremely well, and we are very glad. The foot soldiers, who are the reporters, they did extremely well, and we are saying big, big thank you to all of you. But still now the trend continues, because this is just the nomination. The campaign is also coming, and of course, election night, as Malik Jones has promised you, election night will be live on Star TV. With that, we say bye to all of you out there, and then we say big thank you to the control room, Bas, Mbai, and then together with Jarietu. Thank you very much. We'll be back. That's going to be tomorrow on Leral. Thank you.